Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. I'm your host, Jared, for our super wild card weekend. This is the NFL playoffs. The whole reason these teams play throughout the season is to get to this point. There's a few teams that obviously had a successful season that are on a bye. And then there are teams that obviously have to play this week. 6 games in total. We have 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and the Monday night showdown. We have games to get into. We've got some size, we got some totals, we got some props, we got all that and more. But before I dive into this, let me bring on my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. Now, what's going on, man? Welcome back.
Yeah, what's going on, my guy? Welcome back on a nice, full week. We're taking off now because now it's the playoff season, only on Fridays from now on. What about, look at all these coaching changes and coaching moves. I want to just bring up, my dungeon is completely clear now. All the bad coaches out the league, including Arthur Smith's dumbass. So we got him out the way. The Patriots, goddamn, remember we said Mike Vrabel, they found the fucking coach within fucking 2 days. They said, oh, bye Bill and hello Gerard Mayo. Congratulations to him. And also let's bring up the fact that Pete Carroll got fired, which was going to be one of those dungeon, he was going to be on watch for me on the next season. But the Seahawks said, fuck it, let's get it over with right now. Let's start fresh and start something new. And they got rid of Pete Carroll, man. So a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a hot topic for the offseason. A lot of these, you got to figure some of these coaches, now that Belichick is on the market, a lot of these coaches, even if they feel like, the Eagles, for example, like Nick Sirianni probably feels good about his job. Maybe not so much because of the way that last year or this year ended. But everybody's going to be on the hot seat because if Belichick becomes available to a lot of these teams, they may pull the trigger because this is like a once in a franchise opportunity. So, I saw the Commanders made a GM move. They got the guy from San Francisco
yes, sir.
assistant
Big
GM.
Move.
That's a huge pickup.
Huge move.
We knew Josh Harris. We knew he was going to make some moves. Just from running the Sixers, we just know that guy wants to compete. He isn't about obviously the whole Sixers tank stuff, but since then he's been go mode, making trades, aggressive, and so I think the NFC East is going to be a little bit more competitive this year. I hope you guys end up with Caleb Williams, but who knows? But that is a topic of discussion for another day. We are here for the NFL playoffs. Dynell, let's not dilly-dally anymore. Let's get right into the first playoff game of the year.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return.
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
And that is none other than the Cleveland Browns traveling to Houston. Texans were using DraftKings Sportsbook for the odds, but DraftKings has the Browns at -2. Texans obviously +2. The total for this game is 44.5. Browns sitting at -130 on the money line. So just a slight road favorite. Here, dude, I'm not going to lie. There's a few of these games I've been going back and forth all week, and this is the one where I've went back and forth the most.
Totally. And I agree.
When I saw that line, I was like, oh, dude, we love the Browns here. But then I took a step back and I was like, dude, CJ is literally a unicorn. I got to take all these stats with a grain of salt. I really have to take a look at the bigger picture. And there's one thing, because I've been on the Browns all the way up until today. I think I lean the Texans now.
Okay.
And it's just the simple fact of the Browns defense on the road. It's just completely different than at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
Do you have any leans in this game as of right now?
What's funny about it is I'm just like you. I've been back and forth. I ain't gonna lie to you. You said you've been on Browns all week, bro. I've been literally back and forth in my head all week. Texans, Browns, because I think the biggest thing I'm torn about is I know that Flacco's been there. I know this moment's not too big for him. He's in a great, prosperous situation with the Browns. And granted, like you said, that Browns defense has struggled on the road. But at the end of the day, at any moment, these Browns team can turn it up, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is now a controlled environment. This is a playoff game. There's no ups and downs. It's really time to turn it around. But at the end of the day, like you said, man, you can't bet against a unicorn. You remember last time people bet against a unicorn, aka Patrick Mahomes back then? then look at that unicorn. Look how he's turned out now, man. He made it to the AFC Championship game his first year. So it is rough. Like I said, this is the toughest game on the slate. But as of right now, if you want to know where I stand, oddly, like I said, I'm actually gonna go with the Browns here. Only because I know Joe Flacco's been there, the experience is there. That Texans defense is still suspect. It's good, but still suspect, and I love that team, but I just don't know if they're ready for the moment quite yet. But who knows? I could be wrong. This is the one game I would say, man, yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, this is just I think my favorite bet is the Browns on the money line.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think it's a safer bet. It's not too juiced. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that the Texans are actually in the playoffs this year. Like, that's how good CJ Stroud has been. That's how well coached this team's been. But the only thing that I just cannot wrap my head around is CJ Stroud being able to manage the game in the playoffs, because we know the playoffs are like, the speed is just unreal. It's like a completely different atmosphere compared to the regular season. Like, every play, every yard, every snap just means so much more. And we already know football is, a game of inches. In the playoffs, it's a game of centimeters. So, every single mistake could be extremely crucial. And Flacco's done this for, this guy's been around forever. And you have CJ Stroud, who's fresh. Like, he's fresh. So,
yeah.
I don't think this is going to be like a dog. I don't think anybody's getting dog walk this game. I think it's going to be a coin flip game. I'm going to give the edge to the Browns because the defensive starters have had a rest. But I guess it just depends on the number. Like, it's 2 right now, and 2 is a key number, especially going against a Texans team that they're pretty aggressive. We've seen them go for 2. They're not as aggressive as like the Jaguars, but they definitely have these offensive schemes where they try to take advantage of situations. So, if this game hits 3, I think it's a no doubter. You take the Texans and the points.
Right.
But right now, sitting at 2, I don't have a strong lean, but I'm kind of like you. I think the Browns win, but maybe the Texans cover somehow. Like, maybe this is like a 24-23. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of what I have in my head. I really think this is going to be a 1-2 point game. I think the books nailed this. But no strong lean in this game.
Yeah, the books was definitely on this. Like I said, 21-20, literally type of game. 21-20.
And I'm going to your boy here. Because I think the Browns are just going to get so much pressure, and CJ is just really good at finding quick passes. I think this is going to be a Dalton Schultz dump off game. So I like Dalton Schultz receptions.
Hey, real quick. I remember the stat that they said I heard it on ESPN. I forgot who. They said CJ Stroud is 3rd against zone, but he's like in the bottom half of the league against man and pressure. So that's something to keep an eye on. That speaks a lot to the rookie, rookie, fresh, whatever. But hey, man, it's a new day, new game. Anything can happen. With a unicorn, anything can happen.
Yeah, playoffs are going to be completely different. Who knows? But this is definitely a great game to start the playoffs off this year. But I think Dynell and I are pretty much consensus. We lean the Browns to win this game, but I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means. Now we have the Snow Bowl. Well, one of the Snow Bowls, but this is not the Snow Bowl, but this is the Tundra, the game that's in the Tundra. We have the Dolphins traveling to Kansas City. Chiefs are -4.5 at home. Total for this game is 43.5. Seems a little high. I just feel like because it's so cold, points may be hard to get across. And I actually placed a exotic. I put Chiefs to win 24-20. That just kind of popped in my head. It was like a gut play. I just think now that, like, when the Chiefs were at -3, -3.5, I feel like that was the play. But we're up to +4.5, +5 at some places. I feel like if you're on the Dolphins, you go ahead and wait. This game, this might close at 6, close to game time. I think the Chiefs win this game. I don't know about covering. We're not going to, because obviously that Chiefs offense has had a week off. I'm not going to sit here and, blow smoke up your guys' ass and think this is the same Chiefs, because it's not. But I'm just going to take the Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid experience and just kind of, with the conditions, I think they're going to win this game. I actually spoiler alert, but, a pretty juicy parlay. I took the Chiefs and Bills on the money line. I think I got it like -128. So not too bad. I just kind of bet it as I think the Chiefs win, and I just don't see how the Bills lose. But regardless, this number's at 4.5 right now, Dynell. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling, I mean, like you said, the way it started out, like I said, the number being at 3.5, like I said, it's hard. It's a little bit easier to believe. And I feel like it's only going to go up only up, to be honest
Yeah,
with you,
exactly.
like you predicted. Yeah, because like you said, it's cold, bro. They're talking about -5 wind chill, -12. All right. The first thing I said,
there's going to be gusts, and it's going to be -30 at some points.
Oh yeah, nah. See, here's my thing about it, and I hit on this earlier. I said I would be a hypocrite if I went against myself and not pick the Chiefs here, only considering the fact that I said, quote, they're in Miami, they're playing in the cold. Tua can't stand the cold, everybody else can't stand the cold but Tyreek Hill, and sure enough, that showed up. And it's gonna show up again, man. Like it's tough because I really like this Dolphins team. If this was in any other, 60 or above, 50 or above, even 45 or above, I would definitely lean something, but negative weather to a team that experiences 70 degrees year round damn near, no, bro. No. I'm sorry. Like, just the weather factors itself really speaks volumes for this game, man. So yeah, I'm heavy leaning on the Chiefs. I would definitely say betting the unders on in the running game as running backs, betting the unders definitely for the Dolphins, man. So look into that. Maybe not Tyreek Hill. You might do like a couple unders and maybe a Tyreek Hill over, because Tyreek, for some reason, somehow he's going to get his, and he's used to this weather screen game, that whole 9 yards. But
yeah, if you do a reverse correlation parlay,
big money.
If you do an under Tua passing yards and Owa Tyreek receiving, that's gonna that's probably what, 6-1.
Yeah, literally.
But I agree with you. I like the under. I like the Chiefs on the money line. I almost want to play the Dolphins on the spread, but I'm just going to wait because, if I can get this at 6, I'll love it even more. But the biggest thing is a lot of people are like, oh, this is such a disadvantage for the Dolphins, -15, -20, -30, whatever it is. I'm sorry, but nobody in their fucking right mind is used to that cold of weather. Like, that's just a mental warfare itself. Like, the cold, to the Dolphins, at this point, what's 0 degrees to -20? You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, your body's just so numb, and you're just in the playoffs, and it's going to be at night too. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't see how the Chiefs lose this. I just think the Dolphins, we have to really just monitor this Mostert news, and it looks like Waddle's probably going to be out, and you could just tell this offense just without Waddle, like, there's just so much more of a focus on Tyreek that their offense kind of looks stale now. So, I agree with you. I like the under, but I definitely like that little prop we were talking about with Tua under passing yards, Tyreek over receiving, because realistically, who else is going to be throwing to? So, Tyreek, if he gets one explosive play, which he may, that's going to most likely do it, because, if he catches the ball in space, he's gone. So not many people are going to catch up to him. So I think Dynell and we know the Chiefs. We're pretty confident that the Chiefs are going to win. Yeah. But if spread wise, I think we're just going to see how this number moves closer to game time, because I wouldn't be surprised if the public just starts hammering the Chiefs and the Dolphins just shoots up to like 6. So we'll monitor that before the game on Saturday night. Moving on to, this is the true Snowy Bowl. We have Steelers traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo -9 at home. The total for this game is 33.5. Such a low total with a high spread. It's crazy, dude. You see the stats without TJ Watt. This team's like 1-10. They can't cover a spread for shit. We got Mason Rudolph on a road playoff game. Like, I don't care how good he's looked in some of these games, making these big plays with Pickens. The Bills might win this freaking 27-6, dude. Like, I think the Bills are going to run it down the Steelers' throat. I think they're going to get no pressure on Josh Allen. But the biggest advantage we have, now that's at 9, I love this Bills spot. The biggest advantage we have is Josh Allen can run and Mason Rudolph cannot. So I think that's a big play into my handicap. I just don't see a world where, if it's 3rd and long, like, Josh Allen might get out in space and run you over. Mason Rudolph is at best going to dive for a couple yards and take a hit or get out of bounds, throw the ball away. Like, I just feel like we have such an advantage with a mobile quarterback, do we not?
No, you have a big advantage with a quarterback. But here's what I'm going to bring up to him. If it gets to a point where it hits double digits, I might lean Pittsburgh only because I honestly believe the conditions are going to happen at this game now. How snowy it is, how cold it's about to be. this is literally their shot. Like, if the game was 40, 50, 60 degrees, 70 degrees on up, they were getting blown the fuck out regardless. All right, let's put that out there. They're going to get shitted on. I feel like now the fact that the game is strictly going to be a physical, run the ball type game, this kind of like, if they have a shot, it's literally with these weather conditions. Honestly, I don't know if can get what I'm kind of trying to say here, but basically, if the game just comes down to Najee Harris and, the running game of the Buffalo Bills, it's more manageable than Josh Allen slinging that rock, getting 300 passing yards, because let's be honest, this is going to be a game where everybody runs the ball. With the Bills defense being still dinged up, showed a lot of resolve those last 6 games, definitely put them in a position to be where they are now to win the division. But if they give Najee Harris 25 carries, if they get to the point in the game where it's not like a blowout, say they're still in the game and Najee Harris has 25 carries, Jaylen Warren gets about 10, 15 carries. I'm not going to lie to you. You now start to get more into the Pittsburgh Steelers game, more their theme. And I would just say, be careful. I get what you're saying. Like I said, this can honestly be a blowout, honestly, because this is the Bills' conditions regardless. But I don't know if just somehow, some way, right, with their weather being cold as it is, the Bills turn the ball over because they love to do that.
Yeah,
if they give the Steelers opportunities to really stay inside that game, that Steelers running game is going to play a factor. And I'm telling you, since Matt Canada got fired, they became more of a vertical run type offense, with Najee Harris getting 20, 25 yards, 25 carries, just like they did last week. So, hey, like, this is tough. This is really tough. If it hits double digits, I might have to lean to Pittsburgh.
I can't blame you for that. I mean, Mike Tomlin as a dog, obviously, he's just historical. He's just profitable. I don't know, dude. Like, I just don't see a world where, I don't know, like, I just feel like this Bills team has been playing playoff games for the last 5 weeks. They've been basically like losing, they're done. So, I mean, doesn't it feel like the Bills are just due for like a big blowout game? Like I just feel like they haven't had that, and this may be the one. I don't know. Like, 10 is a huge spread for a playoff game, but just knowing the conditions, TJ Watt not being in there, like, it's just, I don't know. It's very difficult. I just think the Bills have been playing so well. Like, I mean, if the Bills go 14-0, I just don't see.
It's over.
That's the thing, especially with these conditions. Like, I don't know. So we'll monitor the weather. We'll monitor the spread. But I agree. I mean, if this goes to 10, it's going to be hard not to take a shot at the Steelers. Definitely not one of my bigger plays of the week. But that's the Pittsburgh Steelers and Bills game for the first game on Sunday. Let's move on to the 4:30 game Eastern Standard Time. We have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys. I'll tell you what, dude. I mean, it depends on the number, but if you get 7.5, I just don't understand how you don't take the Packers.
Thank you.
I just think that, first of all, I think Dak Prescott's like 0-3, 0-2 at home against the spread for the playoffs. So I think if he loses, he'll tie like Carson Palmer for like the worst ATS at home in the playoffs. I just feel like this is kind of a letdown spot. Like, I think a lot of people are expecting the Cowboys to just go blow this Packers team out, but I just think Jordan Love has just been playing at an incredible level, and this defense has been surprised. Like, they have their days. Like, they seriously have their days. But I think Matt LaFleur is just such a scheme artist that he's going to come into this game with some, ammunition. And if you guys remember last week, the OGs in this podcast, last year, you guys remember when the Packers had Aaron Rodgers and 99% of the bets, 99% of the money was on the Cowboys. And I came on here and told you guys my biggest bet of the year was going to be on the Packers +5 against the Cowboys. And they won outright. Like, they won in overtime 33-30. And that is just a testament to not trusting Mike McCarthy with clock management. And we're not even asking the Packers to win. We're just asking for a little bit of mishap on the Cowboys side. And, instead of winning by 2 touchdowns, they win by a touchdown or 6 points. Or, if the Packers are down 14, they score a touchdown. Maybe they go for 2. So, like, there's just so many ways that we can cover this number. And especially just because, it's not like the Packers have been healthy. I mean, Christian Watson's been out. Aaron Jones has been out. I mean, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, like this, Alexander, like they just been all over the place with injuries. And I feel like they're getting healthy. Like, this is just a good spot, I think, for the Packers. And I mean, I understand why people are betting the Cowboys, rightfully so. They just look automatic, but I just something doesn't seem right about this Dynell.
Bro, what you said, music to my ears, because this defense is definitely, I mean, I guess the Bears last week, and I had fucking Justin Fields in fantasy, so you already know how I fucking seen what Green Bay did. They shut down that Bears offense. I get it. They're not really prolific. And like you said, they have their days. Like they gave up 30 to the Panthers one week, but then they only gave up 22 to the Lions and won that game. You know what I'm saying? There's little spurts like that. And then like there's another game where they gave up 3 points to the Rams with Matthew Stafford and that offense. Like they have their moments, but this is now a playoff game. Nerves kind of get a little antsy. I feel like, and Dallas fans know this, bro. You guys think you win, but you're still shaking in your goddamn boots right now. Still shaking in your boots right now. 7 to me is a tremendously high number. I mean, a tremendously high number. Like you said, I get it. At home, they're this, they're that. You know, they put up mad points. The defense is top in the league when they're at home. I get all that. Now this is playoff football. We're going to show you what you're really kind of made of. The Packers have shown quite resolve all year round. This team are not pushovers. And now that they're starting to get healthy, and now that they fact that they got in and they can see, like, if think about it, if the Packers beat the Cowboys this week, they're in prime position to do something very special. And with Jordan Love first year, him finally coming around and getting to that spot, I'm telling you what, you better keep an eye on them Packers again this week, because at the end of the day, there's 2 teams the Cowboys can't beat, the 49ers and the Packers for some reason. So I guess we're going to see, you know, but I would most likely lean Packers +7. Jordan Love, I guarantee you, I feel like I didn't check his numbers, but I feel like they're going to be deflated to start out. I would honestly hit the over. I feel like it's going to be kind of more of like it's going to be more of like a shootout, but yeah, man, those are my 2 bets. Jordan Love overs and the Packers +7.
Yeah. This is just one of those, like, I think the reason why I like the Packers too is because they've kind of been trending in the right direction. Like, remember, they started off shaky. Yeah. We were kind of like, well, shit, what the fuck's going on with Jordan Love? And we know, like, these rookies who come in, like you see with Jalen Carter on the Eagles, like they get off to these incredible starts, but their bodies aren't built and trained to sustain an 18-week season. Like, that's just long. So the fact that LaFleur had Jordan Love turn up in the second half of the season, that just speaks volume to this team and the coaching. So they're kind of like the opposite of the Eagles. Like the Eagles start off hot, unbeatable, and now they're trending in the wrong direction. The Packers, complete opposite. They started off slow. They figured it out. They did a little bit of film work, and now Jordan Love is looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. So, I mean, he's definitely one of the hottest statistically. So, I mean, I feel like you have to ride the hot hand. Give us the Packers +7, +7.5, whatever you got.
Yeah, no, real quick. I didn't even notice this. Last week, remember we've been talking about that Chicago Bears defense that's been rugged, rapid, and hungry for the last 5 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Even though it was 17-9, they tore them up. I mean, Jay Love had 316 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, only had 5 incompletions. Aaron Jones had 111 yards, and Jaden Reed had 112. So, I mean, they are really turning in the right direction.
It was a game of field goals instead of getting to the red zone. Yeah, which we did say that the Bears red zone defense was I think top 10 last 6 weeks. So exactly. I mean, that just they were getting down, they just weren't converting. So that obviously that'll be a point of emphasis going into this week. So this is probably my favorite game of the week. The Rams traveling to Detroit. We have the wife swap going back to meet the ex-husbands. Matthew Stafford going back to play the first playoff game in Detroit in 30 years, and he gets to do it as the enemy. The Rams are +3 road dogs. The total for this game is 51.5, the highest total on the slate. Rams +136 on the money line. I mean, this game was at 3.5. It got murdered by everybody. The public, the sharps, everybody murdered that 3.5. And now people are waiting to see what this line does. Now that it's down to 3, a lot of people are jumping back onto the Lions, and I get it. But if we remember the last few weeks, the Lions were struggling. This team also has not been, the Rams have kind of been unstoppable. Ever since Stafford came back and Cooper Kupp came back and Puka Nacua is just doing what he does. There's just so many weapons, and Kyron Williams, it hasn't even been on Matthew Stafford, which is awesome. Matthew Stafford can go out there and win you a game with his arm, but Kyron Williams has just been such a problem in the backfield that he is not he's making it so Matthew Stafford doesn't have to throw the ball 50 times. This team has such a reliable running game that it's making these games just go so much more smooth. And then when they get into these, play action, it's just set up up so perfectly with this offense. Cooper Kupp and Nakua are running streaks, and they're working with each other. They get each other open. It's just Sean McVay is just working magic with his offense, and the defense has been about middle of the pack for the talent they have, and for the inability to draft players because of the haul that they sent for Matthew Stafford. They've actually have some pretty good draft picks, and they're working out. So I love what the Rams are doing right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. I'm just gonna same thing with the Packers, kind of ride the hot hand. For you guys that listen to the divisional previews, I had the Rams going all the way to the Super Bowl. I had them, I bet them to make the Super Bowl and win the NFC. So I mean, I've been on this team for a while, and I just feel like they were just getting counted out for some reason when we still have one of the top quarterbacks in the league with one of the best head coaches. So I just feel like, I think this number's right, but I mean, I see the Rams pulling away and winning this game.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams thumped them, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams thumped them. Now, here's what I'm gonna say, yo. I think it's kind of funny how the analogy you brought up with the ex-wives and wife and whatnot. It's really funny because Sean McVay's the man. He's kicked his joint out, got a new joint in Matthew Stafford, seasoned, the veteran, experience. And then here comes Jared Goff back with his baby daddy, Dan Campbell.
He's I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass.
Yup. Now they had a party that they're hosting out loud. Now they trying to show off and show out. But nah, in all seriousness, though, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams thumped them. This offense has been clicking on all cylinders, and the Lions defense, to be honest with you, have been porous at best. I never really believed in their defense throughout the year. They have been getting there's times they give up 35, 30. I mean, they have holes in that defense, man. And as far as I'm concerned, if the Rams can start running the ball and run the ball effectively, this game is over. And honestly, the Lions can't stop the run. Once you get to that point, play action starts coming into effect. Now the pass rushers can't be aggressive, and you all know Aiden Hutchinson is aggressive. So if you can't be aggressive, well, you just neutralize that passing game. So honestly, I like the money line here. Great plus money. Of course, I would take the spread. Honestly, as far as the over/under, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna think a little bit more on that. I was really thinking the under at first, but I'm gonna have to rethink that. But nah, man, Rams all the way. Rams props too. Puka Nacua, receiving yards, Kyron Williams, shit, anything. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. If the Rams can establish the run, I see they win this game. If the Lions can kind of limit them, then this might be more of a coin flip. But I just think in a game of schemes, I think I got to give the edge to Sean McVay.
Right.
Although he's a three point dog, but I think it's just because they're on the road in the playoffs. So I agree with you, man. I think the Rams take this. I got the Rams going for a nice little playoff run.
Okay.
Guys, listen, before I get into this last game, I would like to say we didn't plan on using this for the playoffs. This is kind of like our regular season ritual, but unfortunately, I must do this. Monday night at 8:00 is, as you guys know best, the Bumble of the week. I said it. I fucking said it. Under,
yes, sir.
everything. If there's a prop, take the under. Jalen Hurts passing yards, Jalen Hurts rushing yards, AJ Brown receiving. Devontae Smith is the one where I will stay away because he's just sneaky. But when I say there may not be a touchdown in this game, there may not be a touchdown in this game. Like, would we be surprised if this game finishes 9-3? Like,
no.
Seriously. Like,
no.
Baker Mayfield's banged up, Jalen Hurts is banged up, AJ Brown's banged up, Devontae Smith's banged up. Like, and we're not going to sit here and act like the Buccaneers have been anything special. They didn't put up a touchdown versus the Panthers, and they got shut out by the Saints. So, I mean, we have two teams that just cannot get the ball past the 50-yard line. This is just going to be, can my defense make a play and put my offense in position? I've got the Eagles winning. I hope I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong, because I would love to see the Eagles turn around, but realistically, they just given me no hope and no life. So I've got the Eagles -3. I'm going to play the -3. I'm hoping it's down to 2.5, but this is a game where, like, dude, I can't really get excited for it because I just really feel like it's going to be like a Thursday night football game between the Raiders and the Browns at the beginning of the year. So I have no idea, Dynell. Maybe you have some, more enthusiasm about this game, but I don't whatsoever.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Every Eagles fan will be watching with their black Air Force Ones tomorrow. They're gonna be on some shit.
I'm almost happy we're on the road too.
Yeah, literally. Oh,
I think
Yo,
I
if this
think
was in
I think
Philly,
what they'd be booing.
oh my God. Nah, we did not want that. I'm gonna give you a little hope. It's crazy because all the trends are pointing the complete opposite, but I have not given up on you guys. I honestly haven't, man. I mean, I get it. It's bad. It's really bad. I was wondering why you guys were, kind of shaking your boots at 10-1 and kind of pissed off, still at 10-1, but I see it now. Yeah, them coordinators suck. They suck. But at the end of the day, an animal like a bear, he's on his last legs and his backs are against the wall. That's when he's the most dangerous. Starving. You know what I'm saying? Finally being a dog again. You guys, there was at one point, don't you remember? You guys weren't favored in any game that Super Bowl run, and you guys won every single one. I feel like now you guys are back in that underdog position, and you guys thrive in that. The city of Philadelphia thrives in that. Think about it. Would it be crazy if Nick Sirianni really turns this bitch around, turns his boat around, gets his Super Bowl, right? And say y'all win the Super Bowl this year, right? Imagine how that's going to look. Look how Sirianni's going to look. Now, this Sirianni has been to Super Bowl last year. I don't know why he's being thrown in as a coach in the fucking dungeon right now. Let me tell you something right now. Nick Sirianni would not be in the dungeon at all. All right? He's a great coach. He's took that team there before. This team has experience. They've been there before. They know how to turn it up at the right time. Granted, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it gets to a point where, like I say, like Kelsey and those guys a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? They kind of take it easy. Now they know their bodies know it's time to turn this shit the fuck up now. It's getting to that point. Like you said, Justin Kissen didn't sit here and have himself go out like this. He took himself out of retirement. He was thinking about retirement. Decided to say, yeah, I'm gonna come back for one more year. You think he's gonna let this shit end like this? Losing to the fucking
I hope
Bucks?
not.
Hell no. Well, I'm gonna tell you now. Hell no. And boy, if I'm wrong, just know the city of Philadelphia will be burnt to the ground. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
If we lose to the Bucks,
Right
Bucks, Nick Sirianni might have to find his own flight back to Philly. I think they're gonna fire him on the spot. Like, I'm not kidding. Like if we lose to the Bucks, Nick Sirianni won't have a job.
That's too heavy, bro. Are you serious? That's too heavy.
Is it? Where's the flame of this team? Where's the fight in this team? This team looks dead. Now, listen, I know a lot of them have been saying there's a new sense of urgency now. It's the playoffs, and a lot of these guys are veterans. So you're right. They're veterans. So this regular season shit is almost like a drag to them. Like, they just get through it to get to this spot. But like, if they don't get past this hump, if they don't get past the Bucks, if they don't show signs of life, I mean, why the hell would they bring Nick Sirianni back to do this all over again? Like, bro, there has been no life in this team, and we've played nothing but bum teams, and we lost them to end the year.
But every team eventually has those stretches, bro. They already has that stretch. Look at I'm gonna tell you something. If Marvin Lewis can stay on the same fucking team for 14 years and lose every single playoff game he's been in, Nick Sirianni deserves to come back after come on, bro. He went to the Super Bowl last year, and that team had all the fight in the fucking world, and he was every bit of Philly. You can't give up on because of 6 weeks. Every team has had a bad 6 weeks. Now it looks bad now because
we've looked bad all year. We've been down 10 points to everybody. We just so happen to win.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All I'm saying is, if they don't figure it out this game, there may be some significant changes. Not that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, I just feel that's going to happen. If we lose to the Bucks, shit's going to hit the fan.
You go for the coordinators, bro. Come on, man.
I don't think anybody's safe.
I get that. No, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. Nobody is safe. Nick Sirianni is not safe. I'm gonna let you know that right now. The way the culture is today, he is definitely not safe. The way Philly is, he is tremendously not safe. But at the end of the day, man, like that's still to me, that's still too much.
Dude, 100% understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that with the level of talent and the stage of the veterans in Philly, there is really no time for like bullshit. Like it's Super Bowl or bust, truly. And the way we've been looking, like our odds to win the Super Bowl are like 17-1 right now. They were 6-1 to start the season. So that just shows you the market on the Eagles over the year. And I don't know, you can see at the beginning of the year going down 10 points to every game, like that wasn't sustainable, and it finally caught up to us. But I don't know, hopefully we handle our business versus the Bucks and we won't have to have this conversation, but it's definitely one that I'm frightened of having. So those are the 6 playoff games for Super Wild Card Wednesday or weekend, I should say. Dude, I'm so happy playoff football is here.
Yes,
so many good wild card games. Like, we remember some of these wild card games used to be shit. There's so much like, dude, Dolphins, Chiefs, Rams, fucking Lions, like even Browns and Texans. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought at the beginning of the year?
Look at the story. I mean, yeah, and just look at the storylines. The young cat against the old head. I mean, come on, you can't get older than Joe Flacco. Then you got the ex coming back with a new man and Matthew Stafford. With Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. I mean, there is plenty of storylines.
Mike Tomlin clawing his way into the playoffs again.
Again. I mean, remember how I said this? I believed in him this whole time, and I feel like this is where the run stops. That motherfucker proved me wrong again. Like, god damn, how many times can you prove these critics wrong? So yeah, dude, it's gonna be a gritty week, and I'm gonna love every bit of it, man. I'm gonna love every bit of it.
Yeah. So this has been our super wild card special episode. Dynell and I will be back next week for the divisional round, and that is when we'll start to get dirty. So those have been our sides, our totals, our plays for all of these games. Be sure to follow us on Twitter /X at @shredthespread_ to stay up to date with the podcast. We will do the same thing next week with our one episode covering all of the slated games. Dynell, before we get out of here, did you want to have anything to say to our loyal listeners?
Our loyal listeners, thank you for sticking with us each and every week. Thank you guys again. We are here for our third. What is our third or second? It's third, right? No, second. Second. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I'm thinking my damn anniversary with my girl. My bad. This is our second anniversary of Super Wildcard Week, man. I mean, like I said, it's been a long journey still to this day. I've loved every bit of it. I feel like it gets better and better each and every week. Like I said, guys, tune in. Like I said, just like he said it, he took it out of my mouth. Follow us on X at @shredthespread_. And on top of that, like you said, if you shoot any texts or tweets to me, I will be sure to be tweeting at least some props this week for Super Wildcard Weekend and some NBA props. So keep your eyes out for that. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you.
Yeah, he said it. Like he said, be sure to follow us on everything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks again for listening for our Super Wildcard Weekend episode on the Shred the Spread podcast. I'm Jared. He's Dynell. For our awesome producer, Tyler, holding it down behind the scenes. We will see you next week for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Till then, we'll see you.
Peace.